Hey everyone, welcome back to KDX Bricks Analytics. I am Kevin, and I have a new segment for you. It is KDX Lego Investing and Reselling Power Rankings. Let's get right to the list and not waste any time. And in the 10 slot, I am putting a Star Wars set, and that Star Wars set is 75364, the New Republic E-Wing vs. Shin Hati Starfighter. It is a $110 set. That's a little overpriced, but I know that we'll be able to get a good discount before it leaves the shelves. Looking at our trusty enthusiasm score and mentions table, it has an E-score of 2.3 out of 3 and 4 total mentions. This is from data collected while I watched 72 videos on YouTube about Lego investing and reselling between January 1st and February 29th. That was across 9 channels, and there were 718 Lego set mentions. If you're unfamiliar with this table, check out this recent video that I'm linking up top. And for those of you that have seen my previous videos, I am almost done collecting the March data, and so the next video coming out will be a March data update. The mentions and enthusiasm score for this set are only okay, but one good data point is there have been no mentions against it for investing and reselling, and another good data point is that it will only have a 1 1/3 year shelf life. Again, that's assuming that it does retire at the end of this year. It is currently listed on the Brick Fanatics retirement list. Looking at the sales history from camelcamelcamel.com, here's a screen capture for this set. And this is generally not what we want to see. The green line is the Amazon price. It's held steady at $110, so no sales on Amazon for this set yet. And then the blue line represents third-party sales. As you can see, we haven't had a third-party sale above the MSRP price yet, but it's not terrible. It's only about $10 off of the $110 price point. Obviously, we would love to see at least some occasional third-party sales above MSRP. If we did, I'd probably have this set higher on my list. I looked on eBay, and the average sold price, including shipping, is $90, which is only 82% of MSRP. Again, another metric that is not great, but there are only 77 new listings for this set on eBay, and that is a pretty good data point. Anything under 100 is really good. Anything from 100 to 200 new listings is pretty good, and then above 200 gets to be kind of standard. Here it is on Brickset. It has 5 minifigures, and all of them are exclusive. We've got Captain Porter's Astromech, very colorful. It looks a little bit like the Superman ice cream that all the kids are eating these days. I love the bright colors in that droid. Here's Captain Porter, Balin Skull, Morgan Elsbeth, and then in her Starfighter, we've got Shin Hati leaning back there. I think all 5 of the minifigures are excellent. According to Brick Economy, they are valued at $58, which is 53% of the MSRP of this set. So now we're hitting some metrics that I'm really liking. Another couple metrics I like is that this one has a 4.3 on Brickset. It's decently high. Ratings are always lower on Brickset than they are on Lego.com, so 4.3 is pretty good. This set currently has 3,846 members that own it and 2,634 members that want it. Neither of those are super high, they're decent, but I like the ratio between the two. The want it to own it ratio is 69%, so there's still a high percentage of people out there proportionally that hasn't got this set that plans on getting it. Adding all those metrics up and the fact that Ahsoka Season 2 is coming out in 2025 is the reason I have this set in the 10th spot, and it really seems like the live action story for Ahsoka and all the characters in this set is just getting started. Hopefully there's a lot of great content coming our way in the future. I think this set will double in value and hit $220 after about a 2.5 year hold time. I want to wrap up this one with a quote from a review on Lego.com that stated, aside from the high price for the piece count, the lightsaber blades are not the right color. This feels really lazy on the part of Lego. The blade should be a reddish orange, not a red blade like a Sith. If you're going to charge collectors prices, you need to have accuracy. I agree there's a lot of great things going for this set, but Lego needs to continue to focus in better on those minor details that we all really care about. Before we go on to the set in 9th place, I got a couple of notes for you. I'm only including sets that are expected to retire at the end of 2024. I look at the Brick Fanatics list for my reference point. That's a really good website, so check them out. Also, I'm not covering every key data point for every set. This is just what I'm looking at right now and what's registering with me to help me figure out how I would rank these. For a Power Rankings list, my thoughts will definitely evolve throughout the year as I learn more, watch more videos, get better gauge on supply, demand, popularity buzz, all that kind of stuff. So with that said, feel free to leave a comment and let me know what you think about any part of my list. Leaving comments is not required at all, but if you do, I will certainly use that information and possibly change my future power rankings video based on the kind of feedback we get on this one. And then the last thing that I want to point out is that by the time you're watching this video, some of the data that I've collected might be old. You never know what data elements could change, day to day. So just acknowledge that some of this could be a few days to even a week old. Had to snap the chalk line at some point, use the data and make the video and move forward. Anything I missed, I'll capture it on the next video. In ninth place, I'm going with an icon set that brings a lot of nostalgia. So of course that is 10320, the Eldorado Fortress. The MSRP is $215. And I think that's actually a pretty fair price. Obviously, I'm going to wait until I can get it on a pretty good discount, stacking Rakuten and gifts with purchase and points and sales and everything else. But I'm still pleased with the starting $215 price point. Looking at our enthusiasm score and mentions table, this one is third on our list with 11 mentions and a very high 2.5 enthusiasm score. You can see most of the other sets that are above and below this one are Star Wars, so it's great to see a non-Star Wars set crack such a high spot. And as expected, this set did not get any mentions against investing and reselling. It is projected to have a 1.5-year shelf life, which is very good for an icon set that is this large and that it's Pirates themed and nostalgic. I will be watching this one closely. It could get extended, kind of like the Treehouse got extended multiple times. But if it does retire, 1.5 years is fantastic. Here's the Camel 3X chart. It's decent. The green line shows that Amazon had it on sale for $210, so a measly $5 off. But the blue line is showing that there were some occasional third-party sales up above $270. Now it's down to $200. On eBay right now, it is going for $200, including shipping, which is 93% of MSRP. Which is pretty good, but a great is that there are only 59 new listings on eBay right now. There are 9 minifigures, and Brickset says all of them are unique, but I actually don't quite agree with that. They are unique in terms of the element pieces being combined together, but some of the elements within each minifigure are in other sets. Going to the parts inventory and sorting by elements and sets, we can see that 2 of the torsos are only in this set, and then a third torso is only in this set. The rest of the main minifigure elements are in other sets, so you can combine them together from getting those other sets. So the way I calculate it, only 3 of the 9 minifigures are exclusive, but they are really good. We all love the pirate and soldier minifigures that remind us of the old pirate system days. The minifigures are only currently valued at $50, which is just 23% of MSRP, so not a huge metric right there. But on Brickset, this set has a 4.4, which now we're getting into really good Brickset ratings. And 4,111 members own this set and another 3,416 want it. Just like the last one that we looked at, this is a very high want it to own it ratio. It's actually 84%. So proportionally, there's still a lot of people out there that want this set. Let's look at some comparables. The first one is this awesome idea set, Pirates of Barracuda Bay. It was $200. Brickset's listing it for about $312. I know none of these estimates are perfect, whether we're looking at Brickset or Brick Economy. I generally think that they're in the ballpark after you subtract out shipping and fees and everything else. So if you bought this for $200, throw a little tax on there, and you sold it, I'm guessing you would get about $100 after the fact take home profit. Another decent comparable is this Treehouse Treasures Creator 3-in-1 that retired in 2020. It's got the pirate theme to it, $30 up to $37. You could get this one on huge discounts. And then this first smaller roller coaster set that retired in 2019, this one's pirate themed, $90 to $118. Another one that you could get on a really good discount. And if you did, you'd be turning a really good profit. And then let's look at Brick Economy at the classic Pirates theme. 85 sets total, 7 sub-themes. It ran from 1989 to 2015. If you would have bought all 85 sets at retail, it would have cost you $2,500, and now they're valued at $45,000. That is a 1,812% growth. Obviously, sets today are not going to perform anywhere near that, but this is a good metric to show that Pirates themes have been popular and are still very popular. With all that said, my prediction is this one grows to $350 after a 3-year hold time. We don't get many pirate sets right now. I think people are going to want to keep adding to the nostalgia and the playability that these sets bring. And on top of that, this one is a really good build with a lot of detail. I'm actually right in the middle of building it right now. Keep in mind, per this table right here, the higher number of mentions, the higher return on investment. This is a data set I put together for new Lego that retired in 2022 to see how it was performing about a year after retirement. I'll do more tables like this in future videos and check on sets every 6 to 12 months. A couple of quotes from reviews on lego.com. First one, this Eldorado Fortress is absolutely no match for the Barracuda Bay. Okay, well, if the Barracuda Bay is going up about 50%, then maybe this one will struggle a little bit, but I still like my prediction. And then the other quote is, don't get me wrong, the builders worked hard to design it, but nothing changed really from the original 80 set, and it looks like a copy-paste set. That's a pretty good quote because that's exactly what Lego was going for, and I love it. But there is one difference with this set. Although some things never change, the soldiers got to keep on chasing away the pirates. This time by, the soldiers have much more traction on the sloped cobblestone. All these years have weathered that slope away, and now the soldiers can actually get some footing on that ramp. I'm going with a Technic set in the 8th slot, and I'm deciding between the 3 new John Deere sets. Now, one of them is automatically out. That is 42168. The Forage Harvester, it's the new $40 set, not expected to retire at the end of this year. So now I got to decide between the expensive one, the John Deere skitter at $200, that's set 42157, and then the tractor at $35, that is 42136. The tractor is definitely getting a lot more buzz, but I am going with the $200 skitter. Yes, it is overpriced. I'm sure we'll be able to get a good discount, but it is in the first wave of John Deere sets, and it is the first large John Deere vehicle, and this one comes with a lot of good pneumatic action features. So although it might have a longer hold time than the tractor, when we look at some comparables, we'll see that a lot of these construction and maintenance Technic sets have done really well over a longer hold time. Our e-score and mentions table is showing it only has 1 mention in the first 2 months of this year, and that mention got an enthusiasm score of 2. So if this set does well, it is flying under the radar so far. It does not have any mentions against investing, and it is projected to have a very solid 1.5 year shelf life. The Camel 3X table on this one is not great, kind of as I expected. Technic sets don't get a lot of buzz, and so I'm not letting this chart deter me. I really think it's flying under the radar, and I'm willing to, for myself, have a pretty long hold time with it. But we've seen that there have not been any Amazon sales on it. Third-party sellers have sold it for as low as $185. I mean, it's not a huge difference from the $200 MSRP. On eBay, it's currently going for $170, including shipping. That's only 85% MSRP, but there are only 27 new listings on eBay right now, so that's fantastic. Here's the set on Brickset. Obviously no minifigures, but I want to show you all of the pneumatic action features on the back of the box. Look at all this. So yep, it can steer from the hand of God. The skitter can go up and down, but then the claw can move around and open and close from the pneumatic action features. A really good 4.4 rating on Brickset, and 930 members own it and 855 want it. That's a 93% want to own ratio. Let's look at some comparables. Here's a backhoe that retired in 2005. It was a $100 set. Wow, $100 back in 2003. 2005 for that. That's pretty expensive, but awesome. And it's up to $516 on Brickset. Here's a motorized excavator that retired in 2012. It was a $200 set. It's up to $500. This one looks really good for 2012. A mobile crane that retired in 2015 also looks really good. $220 up to $416. And then this one that retired in 2017 is a Volvo EW160E. I'm not exactly sure what all this vehicle does, but it looks like it has a lot of features to it. $120 set and up to $192. I'm predicting a long 4-year hold time, but a price of $350 on the secondary market. And the quote from the lego.com review that I want to read says, "The 3D building guide from the app really helped to figure out where the tube should be connected to." I think that's great. I like how Lego is supporting the instructions with some 3D content for some of the more challenging builds, and getting those tubes all lined up and connected right obviously is critical for all those cool action features. In the 7th slot, I am going with a plain old idea set that has a bunch of cool parts and a bunch of awesome mechanism and action features, and that is the typewriter. $250 price point. I think that's very expensive. I'm sure we'll get some decent discounts. They might be quick, but I think we'll get some good opportunity. But with all of those sand green pieces, I mean, that's got to be worth something, right? So there's a lot of things to like about this set. But one data point that I'm pretty curious curious about is it only has 3 mentions on our table and a low 1.3 enthusiasm score. Oh, by the way, the R in parentheses means that according to Brick Fanatics, it is expected to retire at the end of this year. But back to these lower scores does give me some concern, but it also makes me wonder if it is also flying under the radar. Obviously, since I put it in my power rankings, I'm thinking that it's flying under the radar right now. And on top of those low scores, this one also has 2 mentions against investing and reselling and a very long 3.5-year shelf life. So yeah, I know, so far I'm really selling it, but don't worry, there's some good metrics. The green line is showing that Amazon has not put it on sale, but the blue line are all of the third-party sales. It's bouncing all over the place, and this looks great. Early in its life, it went as high as about 350, it looks like. Then it had a short stint in the 300 to 330 range, and then a longer period of time in the 260 to 280 range. Considering that this set has not retired yet, yes, it's been out of stock here and there, I think this chart looks fantastic and is a really good sign for its future. On Amazon, in the last month, 400 of them have been purchased, and at $250, that's $100,000 of purchases towards this set alone. I know 400 isn't a lot, but for a set this expensive, it's actually pretty good. If this were to stay on pace for a year, that is $1.2 million spent on Amazon for this set only. On eBay right now, it's going for $220, which is 88% of MSRP. That's okay, but there are only 104 new listings, and that's pretty good. 4.5 rating on Brickset, that is outstanding. It also has 6,177 members that own it and another 3,280 that want it. That is a solid 53% want to own ratio. Let's look at past ideas sets. I've got them sorted by value, highest to lowest. So scrolling down, you can see some of these are just doing awesome, like Voltron, 180 to 324. The grand piano is still out. Barracuda Bay, we talked about, doing fantastic. Some of these are new or still out, but Wally is 60 to 248. The Treehouse has been so hugely popular that Lego has taken it off the retirement list, I think like 3 years in a row, something like that. Had it retired on its originally planned date, this set would be doing fantastic. Everybody's bailing on it now because it just won't go away. The Medieval Blacksmith just retired. Everybody's excited about this one. It hasn't gone up in value yet, but that's because there was some stock remaining, I think maybe Amazon and Barnes & Noble, I forget exactly. Both Saturn V sets have gone up a little bit. Obviously, if Lego had not re-released this set, it would have gone up a ton. The original DeLorean, $35 to $140. The Ship in the Bottle, $70 to $96. Yeah, just scrolling down this list, there are a lot of great comparables in this theme. My guess is it will hit $350 on the secondary market after a kind of long 3-year hold time. Here's a funny Lego.com review quote. "The thing that brings my family so much joy is now causing stress, tears, and frustration. For such a difficult set to assemble, you would think Lego would provide instructions that show different angles for a better view of what pieces go where. I'm literally about to throw this set away." I definitely feel bad for them, but that quote definitely illustrates the complexity of all of the mechanisms that are in this set. And I haven't built it yet, but I've, seen the review and everything, and I think it is fantastic. In 6th place, I've got a good one we're all going to be excited about, and that is 40657, the Dream Village from the Dreamzzz theme. It is a $30 set, and it is a great price point. And hold on. I know that you have an urge to shut off this video right now because of this pick, but 2 things. Number 1, just hear me out, and number 2, don't worry, there are more Star Wars sets coming on this list, and I know that makes all of us happy. But I had to put this one on my list because I put all the metrics into my Power Rankings Magics box, and this set popped out in 6th place. What can I do? Then you can tell me what you think in the comments. As expected, this set has 0 mentions for investing, and therefore it has a 0 enthusiasm score. I guess that would be an NA enthusiasm score. And unfortunately, it has 1 mention against investing. If it does retire, it will have a 1.5-year shelf life. That is very good. There's no data on Camel 3X, so I'm going to show you the eBay prices, and check this out. Remember, it's a $30 set. I'm sure we're going to be able to get it for 20-30% off. I forget, it might have already gone on sale, but $30 set, assume get it for $20, $49. Well, I guess round that up to $50 with $14 of shipping, $48 with free shipping, $48 with free shipping. It's already doubled in price. And here's this one on Brickset, 4 minifigures. It's really 1 minifigure and then these smaller minifigure like elements or little guys basically from the Dreamzzz. Brickset says that 3 of the 4 are exclusive, but I looked at the parts table. None of the parts are exclusive. So for me, it's 0 out of 3, but Look at this build. It's 434 pieces for $30. So much color, so much variety. Let's go to some of the other images. And as we know with the Dreamzzz line, you build a base model and then you can build in one of two directions. So the other model looks fantastic. Certainly my impression is this is a really good value with a lot of color and a lot of playability, nice little builds. I want to build one myself even. I like it so much. And if we look at the rest of the Dreamzzz sets so far, and I know these sets have not been very popular. I know apparently the show so far hasn't been great, hasn't taken off, but I think there's plans for at least 3 seasons. I know season 2 is coming out in May this year, but look at this shark ship. It is super cool. I don't like the tree house. The space bus is okay. I love the stable of dream creatures. Again, another one with a lot of color and plants and cool figures and elements and blobs and creatures. And then a few other these are pretty cool. I just like the creativity overall, like the Pegasus flying horse. I love that color scheme and the shaping. Yeah, the Dreamzzz theme reminds me a lot of the Elves theme, and this set reminds me a lot of this Elves Magic Rescue from the Goblin Village. $60 to $88, not great, retired in 2017, but a lot of bright colors, a lot of fun elements and parts. And if we go to Brick Economy and look at the Elves theme overall, there were 41 sets. It ran from 2015 to 2018. To buy them all would have been $1,300. Selling them all today would be $3,500. That is a 280% growth. So when I look at this data for Elves and I look at the eBay data for the Dream Village, I think there could really be something there. But on Brickset, it does only have a 3.9, a weak theme out of the gate like we discussed. 1,072 members own it, 822 want it. That's not a lot in either category, but it is a 77% want to own ratio. The quote that I liked from a review on lego.com stated simply, pretty much a perfect set, and I honestly feel the same way. So combining all that together, my prediction is this set goes to $75 in 2.5 years. I don't think most of the Dream sets will perform well, but I think this one will, and maybe 1 or 2 others. All right, now back to a Star Wars set. In 5th place, I've got set 75345, the 501st Clone Troopers Battle Pack. It's a $20 set. I'm fine with a $20 price point. It's always on sale for at least $16. I'm sure we'll get an opportunity or two to pick it up for $12 or $13. I think that's a fantastic price. I actually wasn't going to put this set as high as I am on my power rankings list, but DG Bricks and I, while recording our most recent episode that's about to come out, he was really telling me how great of an investment he thinks this set is. So now in my video for the power rankings, this set gets what I'm going to call the DG bump. So it's a little higher than maybe I would have gone with. One metric that I really like is that it already has 7 mentions on our table, but interestingly enough, only a 1.7 e-score, and other sets that have 6, 7, 8 mentions, other than one, have e-scores 2.3 or higher. So that's a very low enthusiasm score. Maybe there's just a little bit of battle pack fatigue. Maybe people just feel like they're evergreens and they don't need to focus on them very much. So I don't really know. Of course, it doesn't have any mentions against investing, and if it retires, it will have a 2-year shelf life. On Amazon, 5,000 were sold in the last month. That's $80,000 towards this set at the $20 MSRP. And if we see the other battle pack that expected to retire at the end of this year is only selling $3,000 per month. Now, the new one that has a bunch of minifigures and a decent price of $30 is selling $7,000. That makes total sense. Comparing the two that are expected to retire at the end of this year, I definitely like the 501st Troopers battle pack better. Here it is on Brickset. All 4 minifigs are exclusive. Only a 4.0 rating and only selling for $17 so far on eBay. And there are a whopping 353 new listings on eBay right now. But over 14,000 Brickset members own this set. And another 2,000 want it, but that 14,000 clearly showing a lot of demand. So that's a good metric, but the want to own ratio is only 14%. That doesn't really worry me with battle packs because people want many copies of these to do the army building thing. Looking at comparables, here's the Star Wars battle pack that retired at the end of 2022. It's up from $15 to $25. As you can see, I think I own about 5 of these and got them on sale. And then another one that retired in 2022 that got a lot of noise one way or the other is this 501st Legion Clone Troopers Battle Pack kind of set. It retailed for 30, it's going for 35, and people got this one maybe 18 a couple of times, but certainly in the low 20s. And this one got a lot of talk because everybody said it is just way over hoarded. Everybody knows it's going to be a good investment, therefore it's going to be a terrible investment. And just a year or so after retirement, everybody's saying, look, if you got this one on sale, you're already making decent money if you got bunches of them. And the expectation is this one will continue to grow in value. A lot of people already pat themselves on the back for this one, referencing this when people say, hey, the one that's expected to retire at the end of this year is going to be way over hoarded and way oversupplied. My prediction is it will double in price to $40 after a 2-year hold time, and I've got a couple of very funny review quotes to read you. The first one is, I don't think Lego understands the demand for sets. The minifigures are great, but unnecessary. The build is downright bad, and the price is too high. The set was most likely made with 3 ounces of thought into it. Well, the last part is kind of right. It doesn't take Lego much thought to build another cool Star Wars Battle Pack set like this, but the whole point of this set is for people to get more and more of the same minifigures so they can do clone army building, and nobody really cares about the, I'm gonna call it a side build on this one, but that launcher thing I guess is kind of okay. Maybe it's a little bit massable, but not my favorite. And then the other quote is, please, please, please get rid of the helmet holes. You knew I couldn't do a video talking about clone minifigures without bringing up the helmet holes. The rest of the quote says, the new prints are absolutely horrendous. I am really disappointed in these. Why didn't you just stay with the previous mold? They were awesome. Also, you guys lied on the box. The rangefinder was photoshopped down from the hole where it was supposed to be. Why is this okay? Why do you continue with these designs? Well, I certainly am against any false advertising, but I, for one, am not getting all wrapped up about the helmet holes. Most of the Star Wars sets and most of the Star Wars minifigures just make me happy, and I like all the variety that Lego produces. And of course, at the end of the day, if there's a set that I don't like, then I just won't buy it and I'll go pick a different one. Next up, I'm picking a set that I'm going to make sure I do not miss out on because I missed out on the Monkey Kid Heavenly Realms set last year. I talked about it in some videos and said I thought it was a great investment, and then it went on discount. I missed that. I didn't get any copies. And then in a more recent video, I talked about how, I'm kicking myself that I missed that one. And so in 4th place, I am picking 80049 Dragon of the East Palace from Monkey Kid. It's $190. And I think that's actually a fair price. And when Monkey Kid first came out, the first wave in that theme, they were overpriced. As expected, this one also has no mentions on our table, and it also has no mentions against investing, so that's good. If it does retire, it will be a 1.5 years on these shelves, and it is a Lego exclusive, so that's something to point out. Here on Amazon, it's already going for $30 over MSRP at $220, and since it's a Lego exclusive, there's no Here on Amazon, it's already going $30 over MSRP at $220. And since it's a Lego exclusive and not sold by Amazon, there's no sales velocity, but I'm sure there are not too many being sold at this price yet, but it's a very good sign. Here on Amazon, the buy box is $30 over MSRP at $220. Since it's a Lego exclusive, therefore it's not being sold by Amazon, there won't be any sales velocity data shown. I'm sure it's not too much, but it's a good sign that it's being sold over MSRP already. On eBay, it's going for $180, including shipping, which is 95% of MSRP. I think that's great. And fantastic news is that there are only 6 new listings. Maybe that's so low that there's even concern that there won't be enough demand on the secondary market. I think there will be a little longer of a hold time, but I think the Monkey Kid sets are going to continue to grow in popularity all over the world. Brickset is listing that 8 of the 9 minifigures are unique, but if you look at the parts table, only 3 of them have totally unique elements. But that's okay, because I think these minifigures look great. A lot of the parts and elements, a lot of nice bright colors. Right now, they're all valued at $60, which is 32% 50% of the retail price of this set. That's not bad. There are no ratings yet on Brickset, so I can't report that yet, but one good data point is that there are 484 members that own it. That's low. Another 871 that want it, which means that the want to own ratio is 179%. I think it's showing that yes, the set's flying under the radar, but there is some popularity, and that popularity will likely grow. And that's what I'm banking on for putting it in this power rankings table. And just check out all of these great sets under the Monkey Kid theme. So many cool designs and shapes and colors and minifigures and parts. And here's the Heavenly Realms that I was talking about. This one retailed for $190. And if we go to eBay, look at this. It just retired at the end of 2023. So it's only been a few months, but it's already going 300 shipped. Some more in the 300s, best offer accepted. Clearly a big jump very quickly after retirement. Metropolis, no, the Megapolis city. That one looks great. And a lot of these buildings and landscapes can all go together if you want to make a big Monkey Kid layout. I could see some kids and AFOLs wanting to do that. The Legend of Flower Fruit Mountain is a really pretty looking set. Hasn't performed well yet though. And then some of these mechs are doing awesome. And then City of Lanterns I've talked a lot about in the past. I like this one a lot too. There's some there when it comes to this theme, in my opinion. And most specifically, I think this one is just really interesting looking with the color choices and the design and all the different pieces and elements. And let's look at some of these other pictures like around back. Wow, it looks like an aquarium, restaurant, and an apartment and all kinds of cool things. I'd love that to be like a theme park building that we could go to. With Monkey Kid Season 5 coming out later this year, and this great quote from a Lego.com review that says, "AFOL here. Bought this set to display alongside the Fruity Mountain and City of Lanterns. It's a great set with interesting building techniques while still fun. Monkey Kid sets have great combinations of colors and interesting pieces. End result is very good. The set is beautiful and very versatile." I love it. Putting all that together, I'm estimating a $310 secondary market price point after a 2.5-year hold time. Before we go on to the top 3 in my power rankings, I want to show you some sets that did not make the cut this time by. Maybe they will in some future power rankings videos, but take this one, for example, the TIE Bomber. It's fantastic. We haven't had one in a while, but it just didn't quite make the cut. Same thing with the Coruscant Guard gunship, some pretty cool minifigures, but the poorly printed and now pink chest plate on the Clone Commander is a big miss. The Commander Cody helmet, the helmets are awesome, but the line is coming to an end. I'll still probably be investing in some of them. The NASA Space Shuttle Discovery, it's a beautiful set, a 4.6 on brick set. I love the NASA sets. A lot of them have done well. This one is close, but just didn't quite make it. Same thing with this one, the Ninjago City Gardens. The previous 2 in this series have done great. This is probably the best of the 4. It is just so beautiful. Fun build, a 4.7. $350 for over 5,600 pieces. It did experience the price bump back on that fateful day in August of 22. So this one I could see cracking the power rankings at some point. And Sanctum Sanctorum, I think this one is a little bit of a sleeper and one that I'm going to be watching very closely. And then lastly, I was deciding between the Nintendo Entertainment System and the Super Mario 64 question mark block. I was thinking one of the 2 would make the list, and then I decided neither of the 2 would make the list. There are definitely more Star Wars sets coming, but in third place, I am going with an Indiana Jones set. But now here's the hard part. Do I pick the Diorama Temple of Golden Idol? Do I pick the Escape from Lost Tomb? Both of those are great sets. This one is $40, great price point. The Diorama is $150, a little spendy, but tons of great action features. But nope, neither of those. I am going with 77012, the fighter plane chase at $35. It's been on sale for $28 regularly. 387 pieces, 3 minifigures, all of them are exclusive. I think $35 is a good price, especially because we're already getting it on sale. This fighter plane chase has 3 mentions with an E-score of 2, so nothing special. It will be on the shelves for 1 year and 9 months, and it doesn't have any mentions against investing. On Amazon, it has a 2,000 per month sales velocity, which works out to $58,000 at the $28 sale price. The other new Indiana Jones Playscale set only has a sales velocity of 800 per month. And then the Diorama has 1,000 per month. And ooh, it's on sale for $120. Not bad. I still would want that one a little bit lower. On eBay, it's going for $32 shipped, which is pretty good. 91% of the MSRP. but there are 201 new listings, so got to look out for that. The minifigures are worth $12. It has a 4.3 on brick set. A solid 7,545 members own it. Only 1,828 want it, so that's just a 24% want to own ratio. But the thing I love about this set is this is a World War II airplane, a World War II car, and 3 really good exclusive minifigures, including a World War II pilot. And I know Lego doesn't make military sets, especially modern day military sets, so that's not their intent here. It's from the movie, but it's close enough that people who like to make historical World War II scenes will definitely want some of these sets, and certainly more of the pilot minifigure. And also remember, we had a bunch of Indiana Jones sets about 15 years ago, so if we look on Brick Economy, the theme has had a 644% growth. Now, I do not think that the new sets will grow anywhere near that. The most recent movie was not very popular, and I'm not hearing of any new movies or new content yet. I'm sure we'll get something someday, but it's only a few sets. I worried about them being forgotten, but I think because of the uniqueness of these 3 sets, you know, the World War II vehicles and this one, the action features and the Escape from the Lost Tomb, and then the diorama classic movie Raiders of the Lost Ark set, I think they'll layer in well with the older ones that are still very popular. And just look at some of these ROIs, 853%, 810%, just amazing. I really love this set. I'm predicting $100 on the secondary market after a 2.5-year hold time, and a pretty good quote from a Lego review that says, attaching the cabin sticker is a complete disaster. You can't get it right from the first try, and with the second try, it is no longer transparent. It should have been printed piece without a sticker. Returning the whole set because there are no spare stickers available online. Well, that last part we know Lego will send you copy after copy of the sticker sheet to make sure that you can apply it correctly. But I really wish Lego would provide a second sticker sheet for any clear back stickers. This comment is right. The second you try it and have to lift it again, you're in trouble. In the second slot, I am going with the Star Wars Ghost and Phantom 2, 75357, $160. Yes, it is overpriced. I believe we will get a good opportunity to get that price down. Maybe the May the 4th promo threshold will be $160 and we can get that, and maybe some double VIPs and whatever that GWP is. I've heard rumors, but I forget what it is. There's a lot of great metrics that put this set high on my list. The first of which is that it is 4th on our cumulative mentions and e-score table. 11 mentions, only a 2.3 enthusiasm score. I think it's a little low just because of the price point. And remember, from this table, historically, the higher the mentions, the higher the ROI. And of course, no mentions against investing and reselling, and it will have less than a 1.5-year shelf life. However, this one could get extended. You know, we know something on this table in the Star Wars arena is going to get extended. It could be this one. I wouldn't be surprised. But if it sticks at a 1.5 years, that's going to be fantastic. On Amazon, it has a very solid 600 per month sales velocity. Another one from the Ahsoka series with a much lower price point has a 700 per month sales velocity. So pretty good for the Ghost and Phantom 2. And $160, that works out to $96,000 a month spent on this set on Amazon. On eBay, it's going for $155 shipped, which is 97% of the MSRP. So that's pretty good, and a solid 92 new listings right now. But here is the metric I am most excited about. It has 5 minifigures. All of them are exclusive. They are valued at $115 today. That is 72% of the retail price. And on top of that, this set has a 4.4 on brick set. 3665 members own it. Another 4,000 want it. That's 111% want to own ratio. Also very good. And then lastly, time to look at the comparable. This is the previous play scale Ghost. It retired in 2015. It was a $90 set, and it's going for a cool $513 on brick set. Again, I don't think the new one will perform the same. Times are different, but the last Ghost retired in 2015. We've got one here almost 10 years later. I don't expect another one anytime soon. Maybe a large UCS, but I think that would be it anytime soon. So I think this one has a long runway ahead of it. And reminder, Ahsoka Season 2 is coming out next year, and this ship has been in previous TV series, very popular in those too. So my prediction is $300 after a 2-year hold time. I found a funny review quote that says, "I'm sure this will end up being a must-get for Rebels and Ahsoka fans. This set delivers basically everything you could want from a Ghost remake, other than a rather lackluster minifigure selection." I don't agree with that. I love those minifigures. And now to the top set. I spent a lot of time debating between this Midi scale Executor Super Star Destroyer and this awesome Master Builder Series Mos Eisley Cantina. They are both amazing sets, but I ended up going with the Midi scale Executor Super Star Destroyer. I definitely want to invest in a few of the cantinas, but I decided not to put it on this list because of the $400 price point. That's just really high, much higher risk, and I wanted to keep my power rankings lower than one of these monster sets, but who knows, maybe I'll change my mind in the future and add this one in sometime. Here's the full rankings filled out, but let's talk about this number one set. It's $70, definitely overpriced, I believe, like the helmets and the dioramas. We will get an opportunity to get 30% discount, maybe even a little higher if we get lucky. It has 7 mentions on our table with an awesome 2.7 enthusiasm score, one of the highest so far this year. No mentions against investing, and a year and what is that, 8-month shelf life, I think. It is a Walmart exclusive. I know Walmarts are pretty much everywhere, so it's more readily available than a Target exclusive, but Walmart exclusive definitely helps out. I think we're already seeing the value of that because this is going for $125 on Amazon. On eBay, it's going for $65 shipped with 122 listings, so pretty good on both of those. And then on Brickset, it has a 4.3 with 6,700 members owning it and 3,000 wanting it. So that's a want to own ratio of just under 50%. But what I'm most excited about is that the helmet sub theme and a little bit the diorama sub theme, I'm seeing the Lego Star Wars fans like the smaller sets that are really displayable. None of the helmets have minifigures. That's okay. These Midi scale sets don't either, so I'm not concerned about that. And if we look at previous Midi scale sets like the Millennium Falcon from 2009, $40 to $181. The Imperial Star Destroyer, also from back then, 2010, is $40 to $115. The Nebulon B frigate was promotional, so that doesn't count. And then here's the new one we're looking at, and most importantly, we got 3 more new ones in 2024. So a new Millennium Falcon, the Tantive 4, and the Invisible Hand. All 3 of those are great. And of course, everybody's going to want to go back and get the first one of this new sub-theme, where there was only one in the original release, and it's going to be retiring at the end of this year. And hopefully Lego comes out with a few more in 25 and in 26, and we get a solid, 10 to 15 Midi scale ships in this new sub-theme collection, and that'll really drive collectors to go back and get this original. My prediction is it hits $150 after a 2-year hold time. And I'll wrap up with one last funny review quote. This one was written in all caps, and it says, "I got scammed!" I got this for $100 Canadian with tax, and now it's $70. Scam, scam, scam. I don't know the circumstances, but I'm guessing that it went on sale somewhere, and I don't think retailers putting sets on sale is a scam, but who knows? Maybe someone got flubbed up on that one. Hopefully he was able to return it, or if I were him, I'd just go ahead and get more when they go on a really good discount right before the end of this year. Well, that's the full list, and my first power rankings video is in the books. I plan on making more, and I'm moving these sets up and down the list as I track more data and buzz, and of course, any comments that you leave. I look forward to reading those and seeing what you guys agree with and seeing where you guys think I'm crazy. Thanks a lot for watching. That's a wrap on this one, and I will see you in the next one. Oh, and don't forget, my videos are for entertainment purposes only. I do not provide financial advice. You got to get that from somebody else.